Merry Christmas, nerds! I promise this is not a music video. What I'm gonna do today is give you 10 anime-ish things that I like to watch at Christmas time. Let's not waste any time and jump right in. So I'm kind of cheating with this one. I saw this series back when I was 13, and it's about the winter. And winter equals Christmas, sometimes. Anyway, this is a really good anime that I never hear anyone talk about because it's out of print. It basically follows a bunch of different girls in Hokkaido during the winter. While each story is different and takes place in a different location with different characters, all of the girls eventually meet in the end. And this isn't a spoiler because it's not really a story spoiler. The strength of the series is how the women are written and how relatable each of their stories are. Honestly, this anime made me think about the world differently as a woman when I was 13. Though it isn't really about Christmas, I do highly recommend it. It's nice, sweet, and gentle. And if you can find it, check it out. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is surprisingly slice of life. It's got some very exciting fantasy elements, but those usually take a back seat to family and friend hijinks. It's about a dragon who takes the form of a busty maid to live with an office woman. That's pretty much it. Plus some other dragons and humans getting in on the fun. In the Christmas episode, the dragons and the two kids put on a production of The Little Match Girl for the old folks' home. Of course, they end up distorting it into a story about a match girl and an old man meeting a wizard, and the match girl becomes a magical girl. Also, the old man becomes a magical girl too. And Lukwa shows up in a skimpy outfit. It's fun. It's a really fun episode. There's also a short section of Toru making Kana a fireplace just so Santa can visit her. It's super cute. This is a great episode of an already great series. I really recommend checking it out, and it's kind of easy to jump right into even if you don't know what's going on, though you should watch the rest of the series because it's really good. Chrono Crusade is not a Christian anime. I mentioned this in my last video, but I didn't really go into detail why because that's not what that video was about. From what I understand based on interviews I've read and some videos I've seen, a lot of creators in Japan insert Christian imagery into their stuff because they think it's really cool. And they don't generally care if it's culturally or historically accurate or not. This is one of those series. To be honest, the series goes in some weird places on that front, and it actually made me super uncomfortable when I first saw it. But it quickly became one of my favorite anime. And no joke, I met Greg Ayres, who voices Chrono, at a convention a couple years ago, and while he was signing my copy of Chrono Crusade, he said that this was actually his favorite anime to voice. It's basically about an exorcist who takes care of religious-ish crimes with the aid of a demon she has a contract with. And that's really all I can say because spoilers. So, in the Christmas episode, Rosette and Chrono find out that Asmaria hasn't had a real Christmas before. So they throw her one while also delivering gifts to an orphanage. It's actually extremely sweet, despite the fact that the episode starts out with a murder investigation. I'd say check it out, but you'd probably have to watch the 12 episodes that came before it, and not gonna lie, I don't know if everybody would be down for that. Azumanga Daioh is one of those shows where I can turn on any episode of it and have a fantastic time. I even started this show in the middle and still loved it. It's basically about a group of girls going through high school. That's it. But the way the girls are written and the situations they get into makes it feel like you really know the girls by the end. The Christmas episode is barely even about Christmas. It's mostly about the things that are happening to the girls around Christmas. They talk about presents, their report cards, how Tomo didn't know that reindeer were real, and probably the most important piece of information, Santa is a non-human entity, possibly an alien, mole person, or sinister cat, who is paid by the government to deliver gifts. He can fly at Mach 100 and gets into houses without chimneys by picking locks. For real though, you should check out this episode. And you don't really need to know much else about the show, just jump right in. Angel Beats is a fantastic show by the creators of Clannad and Air. I'd tell you what it's about, but it's best if you go in blind, and you should definitely see it. It's one of the most underrated and beautiful anime I've ever cried buckets over. The Christmas episode isn't even really a Christmas episode. It's an extensive backstory, but I can't tell you much at all about it because major spoilers. Here's what I can tell you. Otonashi is a great character and a great person. And you should see Angel Beats. Really. Right now. Do it. It's on Netflix. So, Oh My Goddess is an anime that I feel gets forgotten when people talk about older harem series. I hear people talk about Tenchi, I hear people talk about Love Hina, I've even been hearing people talk about Ramna 1/2 lately, but never Oh My Goddess. So what's it about? Well, it starts with a college guy named Keiichi. He accidentally calls the Goddess Help hotline, aka Heaven, and a goddess comes down to his room to tell him that he can have one wish. Jokingly, he wishes that this beautiful goddess would stay with him forever. Well, the wish happens to go through, and hijinks ensue. The anime really only covers a portion of what the manga does, but it's still a great watch. For some reason, despite there being 2 full seasons, Funimation only licensed the second one, which means that if you jump into the second one, you're kind of missing some major context, which is why I gave you the setup. I mean, yeah, the second season is definitely the best, but don't you want to know what's going on? Anyway, there are actually 3 Christmas episodes in season 2, all in a row, but we're only talking about the second one, my favorite. In this episode, Keiichi decides to buy Belle Dandy a ring for their 1-year anniversary. That's about it. It's slice of life, guys. But it's also cute. I just love the characters in this series, and personally, I think that as long as you know the premise of the series, you can kind of jump in anywhere, but I would try and give the rest of the series a watch, if you can find it. Kimi ni Todoke is one of my favorite anime that I never talk about. It gave me one of my forever husbandos, Kazahaya. It's about a girl named Sawako, nicknamed Sadako by her classmates, trying to make friends despite the fact that almost everyone finds her to be scary. The Christmas episode here is a little bit of a spoiler, but suffice it to say that it's your typical slice of life Christmas episode, with unsaid feelings and flowery borders. I just love how simple it is. I've always loved Sawako as a character, and I love how in this episode her innocence and sincere nature shines through. It's a great watch. By the way, I watched this episode to get ready for this video, and I was pretty much ugly crying the entire time. If you're an adult otaku and you haven't seen Otakoi yet, you're missing out. This anime is so realistic in its story and characters, though still slightly exaggerated for comedic effect. It follows 4 otaku working in an office together. It's very slice of life, but how do I say this? It's not silly and unrealistic like shows like Kimi ni Todoke. I know people like Hirotaka. I know people like Taro. I know people like Hanako. I am like Narumi. It's just so refreshing to see adults going through their lives as otaku while trying to fit into the real world. Also, the amazing thing about this series, from what I can tell, they actually paid to mention licensed things. So you don't have someone talking about a PFP or Super Dario. You hear the actual names PSP and Mario. Also, Evangelion and Nintendo. I think that's really cool. The Christmas episode is really only half Christmas. The first half is just more office situations, and the second half of the episode is all Christmas talk. They talk about how Christmas as adults compares to how it was when they were kids. They talk about adult responsibilities around the holidays. They talk about how no matter what, you can still enjoy the holiday even when you're stuck in the office until late. It's a very chill episode, but that's what I like about it. You guys should not only check out this episode, but the series as well. It's very short, but it's a great time. This is the only live action thing on the list, and it's at number 2. So it must be really, really good, right? It must be a flawless adaptation, right? Well, here's the thing. I really only read a few chapters of the Lovely Complex manga, and I never saw the anime. The only reason I have seen this movie is because it was one of the few anime-related things at my local library in my hometown. It was crazy and had many weird moments, and I fell in love with it. It and the source material follows a very tall girl named Risa Koizumi and a very short boy named Atsushi Otani. It's slice of life with lots of comedy and romance. And the movie dials that up to 1100. While the whole movie is not Christmas related, it is very Christmassy for a good portion in the middle, and I can't help but want to watch it at Christmas time even though the movie ends in the summer. It basically goes through a whole school year with our 6 or so main characters. It's a fun and crazy time with a lot of anime and Japanese cultural references mixed in. I really recommend checking it out even if you haven't read the manga. It's a great time. So I've talked about the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya so many times at this point, but I never really talked about the movie. This is truly my favorite thing to watch at Christmas. It's also a fantastic follow-up to the series. Like, it literally continues the story from where the series left off. Which also means that if you're going to watch this movie, you're probably gonna need to watch the series first. It's a great ride full of time travel, time loops, Windows 95, and stabbings, with a nice frame made of Christmas. Seriously, if the Endless 8 arc put you off the series, which there is a great video by Red Bard about this very thing that I'll have linked below, consider coming back and checking out this movie. It's the season 2 we wanted, but not the season 2 we got. And that'll be it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, I guess I could mention the non-anime things that I like. It's gonna be This was a really hard video to put together, but I actually had a lot of fun with it, and I am obsessed with this outfit. I am wearing a hoop skirt. I don't know why I wore it for the video, but I will be wearing it the rest of today. Please make sure to drop a like and leave me a comment with what your favorite thing to watch is at Christmas. I'm very curious about that. Please subscribe if you haven't already and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload next. We only have one more video left this year. I can't believe that it's been 5 months already. And I've only missed 1 week. That's crazy. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Oh, wait, there's one more thing. It's Christmas time, and we are... Yeah, I fooled you guys. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I've been planning this joke for like a month. Because, in my opinion, my Halloween video was a train wreck, and I wasn't gonna do it again, but I almost did. I actually already had, music written. Like, I wrote some music, but I just couldn't come up with the lyrics soon enough, so I was like, nah. But I thought this joke would be funny. Anyway, have a great Christmas, guys. Bye.